How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today marks day 14 of Green Bay Packers training camp and one of the last two training camps this offseason that is open to the public. So you know what that means. I have some highlights from today's practice to react to and break down for you guys. And if you happen to be a new viewer and want to stay in the loop with everything Green Bay Packers this offseason heading into the regular season, make sure to go down and click that subscribe button. There's content posted on this channel almost every single day for Packers news, analysis, updates, live streams, and everything of the sort. So without further ado, let's waste no more time and bring up the highlight screen. In this first clip, it's a quick clip of Rashon Gary going through warm-ups, and I wanted to show you this because today Rashon Gary participated in team drills for the first time, which is a massive update in terms of his injury on whether or not he could potentially play in week 1. Considering he's, doing team drills today, gives me high hopes that he will be ready to play week 1 versus the Bears. And it's just insane how quickly Rashon Gary has recovered and how normal he already looks after a torn ACL just a little bit over 9 months ago. This would obviously be huge for the Green Bay Packers defense heading into the regular season. All offseason, we were kind of thinking Rashon Gary might not play until like week 6 or after that point. So we're kind of thinking, okay, who's going to be the opposite edge, opposite Preston Smith? We've seen Justin Hollins, Enigbare, and Lucas Van Ness. Enigbare had a great game against the Patriots. Lucas Van Ness has shown flashes, and Justin Hollins has been a good veteran edge guy in that edge room. But now it looks like we might see Rashon Gary week 1 starting opposite Preston Smith. Now, will he get that 65% snap share? I don't think they'll do that right off the bat. I think they're still going to ease him in when it comes to the regular season. But seeing him practice in team drills today is just such a huge advancement for Rashon Gary playing week 1, and I'm so excited for that. Here's a clip of one of the Packers' new signings, Marvin Pierre. You see him there in number 54. He's an undrafted free agent out of Kent State, and this signing makes sense with Devondre Campbell still out of practice. Likely won't practice until closer to week 1, if any. I know Ryan Gutekunst did say he expects Campbell to be ready for week 1, but going into the last week of preseason and, roster cutdowns, they might need more bodies in that inside linebacker room. So the Marvin Pierre signing does make sense, probably just another camp body. Here we have some offensive lineman clips. We see Zach Tom and Jon Runyan doing a blocking drill here. Packers starting right tackle in Zach Tom and starting right tackle in Jon Runyan. I think Zach Tom is going to be the right tackle week 1. I think that offensive line is pretty much set in stone at this point. Bakhtiari, Jenkins, Myers, Runyan, and Tom. And I thought Tom looked really good against the New England Patriots, and that was against their first team defense, primarily Matthew Judon, who is a really good edge rusher in this league, and Zach Tom, locked him down. So Zach Tom has looked great at pretty much every position the Packers have put him at last year and into the training camp this year. Just really seems like he's going to be the next Elton Jenkins type of lineman, and it's crazy because the Packers already have Elton Jenkins, and he can move all over the line, and now we have Zach Tom who can move all over the line. It just offers so much versatility, and this guy's going to be one of the premier offensive linemen in the NFL in the future years, I guarantee it. Here is another clip of Zach Tom, but Rasheed Walker to the left of them doing a sled drill here, and I wanted to talk about Rasheed Walker because, like Zach Tom, I thought he had an excellent performance against the Patriots. So going into that game, the Packers actually started him at left tackle over Yosh Nijman. And I didn't think it was anything like, okay, maybe Yosh Nijman's getting benched for Rasheed Walker. I think it was more so the Packers wanted to see Walker against the Patriots once. And that was confirmed after the game. Matt LaFleur said we wanted to see what he could do against the Patriots once. And Rasheed Walker excelled. He was actually the highest rated lineman on the Packers in that preseason game against the Patriots with an 88.4 pass block grade and allowed 0 pressures. And the start of that was against the Patriots' first team defense. Rasheed Walker has looked great in year 2 so far after being drafted in the 7th round out of Penn State in last year's draft. The Packers just seemingly keep getting, draft steals at offensive line. Their offensive line depth is extremely talented right now, and I think that's been kind of an underrated point for this offense going through this preseason and into the regular season. Their offensive line, it looks really good. Here we have a clip of Packers quarterback Jordan Love throwing a ball to wide receiver Samore Torre, who didn't get any receptions in that Patriots game, but they've been using him as a kick return and all of that, and he's done, reps on special teams. I still see him as a roster lock. I would have liked to see him get more targets in that preseason game, and maybe going into Seattle he will, but to me, he's still a roster lock. I feel like the Packers like Samore Torre a lot, and to me, he's wide receiver 4/5, depending on if Tay Wicks can stay healthy. Really like what I've seen from Tay Wicks so far in training camp, but he is out of practice today with that hamstring injury he suffered versus New England. So we'll see if that is something that lingers around. But Samore Torre is a roster lock, and then other receivers that really impressed that preseason game, obviously Malik Heath and Grant DeBose. And speaking of impressive wide receivers, here's a clip of Jaden Reed running a zig route. Nice ran zig route, kind of slipped at the top of the route there, but nonetheless, nice quick route there for Jaden Reed. Very impressive in the 2 preseason games so far. Had some crucial catches against the Bengals. Then, of course, that touchdown against the Patriots where Jordan Love fired that ball and a crosser on the left side of the field there where Jaden Reed, got open, and Jordan Love delivered a perfect ball for Jaden Reed to catch it and then get into the end zone. I've been talking about him all offseason, and he's finally showing seemingly what I've been saying. Could be a premier slot wide receiver, can do so much for this Packers offense as a motion man, could even run him out of the backfield like they used to with Randall Cobb. I just can't wait for week 1 to see these rookies against the Bears. Here is a clip of Christian Watson running a dig route. He also didn't get any receptions against the Patriots, but again, the starting offense only runs like 2 to 3 drives, so nothing really to worry about there. Still have extremely high hopes for Christian Watson this year. I think he's going to have the most yards and touchdowns for all Packers wide receivers in that wide receiver room. He's looked really good in training camp so far, looks quicker on his feet in terms of route running, has had some drop issues in training camp, but to me they're more so concentration drops, and that will get fixed up. He is going to be the Packers' #1 wide receiver, and that's not really giving any discredit to Romeo Doubs because he looks really, really good as well. We saw that in the Patriots game. That one catch on the sideline, just super impressive. Both of these wide receivers have been impressive to me, and I think they will step up to the plate for the Packers offense. Finally, we have a clip here of Isiah Gains warming up. I'm showing this because he hasn't been in practice for over a week now, and he finally returned today, which bodes well for him, the chances of him potentially making this roster. I figured if he didn't return to practice this week, he was pretty much as good as gone, but I know the Packers really like his versatility. They've played him at safety, they've played him at slot cornerback, and if he puts together a good week this week going into the Seattle game and has a good preseason game, I could honestly see him making the roster kind of as a cornerback, like a backup slot cornerback, because right now, obviously, Keyshawn Nixon being that starting slot cornerback, they don't really have a backup for the slot. They do have Shamar Jean-Charles, but I feel he struggled against the Patriots. Corey Ballantyne returned today as well. He's been out for a while, but he's more of a boundary guy, special teamer guy, but Isiah Gains can do special teams as well and can offer you versatility at safety and nickel. So if the Packers were to keep 5 cornerbacks with Eric Stokes starting on the PUP, the 5th may just be Isiah Gains. But that about does it for all the clips I have from day 14 of Green Bay Packers training camp. And guys, I also wanted to remind you, I still have a giveaway running to the end of the month, and that is for this signed Romeo Doubs Packers away jersey. To enter in this giveaway, which will run to the end of August, you simply go to pristineauction.com, register on their website using my registration code BAS, B-A-S, and that will enter you in this giveaway and all future giveaways, which I'll be doing the entire year. Ton of items to give away, signed Packers items, really cool items. So definitely be on the lookout for all these giveaways and make sure to go sign up on Pristine Auction. Doing so will also give you a $10 site credit, and they have a ton of items you can check out for auction there for the Packers. But that about does it for this video. I appreciate everyone watching. If you did enjoy this video, if you could please leave a like down below. But I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always, go